Kidnapping case over the weekend. According to court documents, David Whitman was killed when his fellow drug dealer suspected he was stealing from them. And KXY4's Jeff Humphrey working for you tonight with a look at the murder scene. He joins us there live. Jeff?
Nadine, this duplex in northwest Spokane is where Spokane police believe that David Whitman was both shot several times as well as beaten with a baseball bat. Detectives say before it was all over, more than a half dozen people had participated in a chilling murder designed to create fear with anyone who did business with this particular group of drug dealers. On February 27th, a confidential informant told Spokane police that murder victim David Whitman was dealing large amounts of drugs in our area. The very next day, Whitman's suppliers, who perceived that Whitman was stealing from them, lured Whitman and his girlfriend to this home at Knox and Maple.
We know that that location was being used for the sale of drugs. Whether this ties directly into that or not is still part of the investigation that we need to verify.
On March 3rd, the informant then told police that Whitman's car had been abandoned at Huckleberry's on the South Hill and that surveillance cameras showed someone ditching the vehicle and then driving away in a second car. By the time police raided the residence on Knox with their SWAT team last Thursday, Whitman was already dead.
What I can tell you is that after we arrived, we did the warrant, we did remove some people from the house who are going to be interviewed today, and then we'll be making some determinations about some of the next steps in the investigation.
Witnesses say Whitman then went into the bedroom where he was allegedly shot by Domingo Valdovinos and then hit with a baseball bat by resident Joe Gillespie. He's the tenant here that asked nearby neighbors to overlook any suspicious activity inside this duplex.
He's like, you know, if you ever hear any troubles going on, don't worry about calling the cops. He said, we'll handle it ourselves. So by that, him saying that, it seemed a little odd.
Once Whitman was unconscious, Christine Moreland allegedly helped scrub blood spatter off the crime scene walls. Meanwhile, someone took Whitman's remains to this state forestry land near Tum Tum, where his body was dumped.
We have located a deceased individual at this location, and at this time we believe that it is connected to our ongoing investigation involving a kidnapping that occurred at some point in the last week in the city.
That was Captain Brad Arleth, who we last spoke with on Friday, and since that time an autopsy has showed that Whitman suffered multiple gunshot wounds. His girlfriend, who was also kidnapped, Nadine, she was held captive for 72 hours and released, but not before the people holding her had her look up her own family on Google, and that's when she was told they are all going to die if you go to police about what happened here.
Very complex story indeed, Jeff, and it's been developing since last week. Even late this afternoon, learning that police now looking for another suspect.
And they've been arresting people all through the course of this weekend. It has been a dragnet as Spokane police hook up anybody who they think even played the smallest role in this kidnapping, and like the kidnappers themselves who are trying to send that message of fear, the Spokane Police Department is trying to send its own message, and that is do not commit murders here in Spokane. In the meantime, you're right, they are still looking for Jenny Rogers. She is a different young woman who is also accused of cleaning up the blood after the shooting. If you know where she is, go ahead and call 911. Reporting live in northwest Spokane, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.